impossible to buy houses nowadays. It's housing prices are hiking and they're
We can
not
complain
enough
on that,
space.
right? We can say that last time you guys buy the house at a cheaper
And
rate.
cheap, and
Now
now
we
we
have to work
can't.
hard.
Hello everyone, welcome to WorkLife. My name is Sue, this is Syazwan, Hashi and Lucas. And today we're going to talk about strawberry generation. Us.
How do I feel about that? I mean, they have to call us something. I have to admit, I do feel that sometimes the life that we live, we are very complacent on certain things and we take for granted a lot of things that many people, even like around us or like even across certain straits, do not get to enjoy. But living in Singapore especially, we get to take things for granted. Like, the bus 5 minutes slower than usual, and we curse the sun and the sky. When other countries, they wait for like 2 buses a day.
Oh my god! Wow!
Strangely enough, I don't think that's a snowflake generation thing, like to complain about the bus being late for 5 minutes. I still feel the boomer generation, they're the ones who will continue complaining, which to me is kind of weird because I will remember having all these aunties, they lived through the war, but if the bus was late by 1 minute, they were KB throughout the whole ride. I've seen these kind of aunties before.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, for me, when I feel about the strawberry generation is the one that's being the most complacent, somehow I would say how fast we modernize as society, how quickly we forget our roots, that even the older generation who lived through all these hard times, now they're the ones that are spoiling themselves too much, and then they will start to fault the blame to us for being the spoiled ones.
Could it be because they feel, as rightfully, that they were the reason that we are at this point in society?
Let's backtrack a bit, and you know why we are called strawberries?
Because it sounds nice.
We are soft. Okay, because to grow strawberries, you need a very certain climate and space to grow. And then strawberries, they are very fragile. Rot easily or get damaged. So that's why we are called strawberry generation. It derived from Taiwan. Actually, it's not only the Gen Z, but also the millennials. So it's the post-World War II generation. So that includes our parents as well. So it's the Karens that you are talking about.
Mark, this is not you, eh?
But I feel if they feel that they were the ones that worked so hard and got society and community to that place, they feel that they are reaping the rewards, and they feel that our generation is just enjoying the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, then what
So
do
if
you
they
want
are
us to
complaining,
do
so if they are
otherwise?
complaining about it, is it justified?
Isn't it great that we are not having World War III? Right,
And we're always on the brink of it.
we are always on the brink of it, but as society in general is progressing, and that's why we can have this first world problem of, oh my god, my bus is 1 minute late.
What?
Right, because back in the day when you have war, are you thinking about bus? No, you're thinking about how to find shelter so you don't get killed. And it's because of the advancement of our society that we can forego these really tremendous issues and talk about little things. And that's why we also have this thing like work-life balance, because we can finally think about having a life instead of having to work so hard day and night, to provide for the family. So I'm like, what's wrong with that? This just shows that we are progressing as a nation.
I agree.
Right?
But at what point do we draw the line of idealistic and realistic?
Meaning what's idealistic?
Idealistic is like, I want to live my life in this way and this way only.
Yeah.
And I will complain about every other way and I'll not do anything about it. And I expect how I envision my life to be exactly that.
Do you think that strawberry generations are like that when it's one track mind?
Yes. There are some that are exactly like that. Like, they are so invested in living life one way, and they don't understand that in order to live that life, you have to work hard.
But do you see that the parents also play a factor in this? Like, the parents are the one who for example, nowadays primary school kids have iPhone, iPad, so I think parents also play an important factor in like growing them, like leading them on how they lead their life. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, like nowadays, I also feel that the parents are scared of their children.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel that's why I say every younger generation or older generation will feel that the younger generation has it very easy. I guess it's just part of. I'm sure in like.
But that
the World War
fate
One.
and destiny. What we are to be born in this year, so.
Yeah, the World War One generation is going to feel that the World War Two generation. These guys, they have it so easy. We used to kill each other in
Why
lines.
blame us? They're always blaming us for no reason, which I feel is
like it's
unfair.
something very serious.
No,
Yes.
it's just I have to think through what you guys are saying and then I'll have to process it. But I guess there's a point that I want to bring out is right now we are the generation where the children are spared the rod. So basically, as how they say, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. So right now, we are kind of spoiled. We're kind of doomed.
Actually, I agree.
Then let's
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to the second. Then we carry on from that. Do you believe in using the rod on your future kids if you were to have one?
I mean, the weird thing for me is I know I got a taste of the rod in every delicate sense of my body.
Okay.
So I feel like for my children, discipline nowadays is a very tricky thing, especially towards our kids. Because sooner or later, the standards that were normal in the past is now not normal now.
Yeah.
So that's why children nowadays, they could now actually legally pursue to say that their parents are abusive.
Yeah.
But in the past, this kind of upbringing of being caned, of
Or whacking with the belt.
or whichever mode of weapon is within you, you will already feel like these are the things that will set you straight.
So are we part of the problem? If we feel that the past generations are not called strawberry generations is because they will not spread the rod, but we feel the urge to spare the rod, are we part of the problem?
Okay, on that note, I want to give you the next one, okay? Do you think strawberry generation is just a term that's used in this generation and that the whole idea of a spoiled generation is it really strawberry generation or is it just a shift in the things that we do? Even the generation right now, the so-called strawberry generation, 20 years down the road, they will have another term for another new batch of kids who they think is like way spoiler than I am right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
case in point, we are the first year of Gen Z, and we look at our younger counterparts
Yeah.
of Gen Z, and we look at these kids and be like, wow, Jesus, if I were to use my iPad or anything remotely distracting during a meal, my mom would whack me and scold me. So yeah, of course, even
Yeah.
us, we are judging them, I guess, right?
I
So
do,
is it a natural thing that this sort of terms are being used to describe the current generation? Is it a normal thing? Do you think it's still going to be will it still snowball and be used in the future, or you feel like this is we are here, we are already spoiled already, we cannot go worse than this?
I would like to say yes, I think there will be more strawberry generation. Now I think it's called durian generation or something in the future. Okay, I just want to destigmatize this term strawberry generation bad. We are strawberry generation because of the privilege of being this boom that we experience. So maybe hopefully when we talk to our future generation, we see it from a place of understanding and kindness rather than you have it
Violence.
better than us,
Yeah.
you never get caned. It was wow, you don't get caned because there is other better ways of making you understand how we feel using our words.
One last question before we wrap up, okay? We all were talking about work-life balance, right? And it seems like that is really a big point of contention amongst boomers versus millennials versus Merdeka generation versus Gen Z, what are your thoughts about productivity? What are your thoughts about work-life balance? Is it really necessary for you to just push a bit more, so that you don't come across as someone who's just negligent towards your work? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. We are in a passion field. Most of us are, right? And they say if you work on your passion, you will never feel like you work in a day. So I work hard, and also because I was raised by these matriarchal women that worked so hard, you know, like immigrant parents, also like even my grandma immigrated from China. So I just see these hardworking women, and that's what I know is to work hard. So when people say like, oh, you strawberry generation, you don't work hard, like I don't agree with that.
Then are you part of the problem on the other hand, where you work so hard and you allow employers to believe that that should be the norm?
That's where the work-life balance comes in, right? You have to draw the boundary as to when you work hard is what's your capacity. It's not the same as your capacity, right? And it should never be the same. That's why it's about equity rather than like 8 hours, 48 hours, or how many hours. It's about how much is your threshold, depending on whether you are taking care of, you have elderly parents you have to take care of, you have children. So yeah.
So for me, I just feel it's just a way for others to generalize. It's as with all terms, it's just a way to like generalize negative connotations and negative actions from maybe a certain group of people. Because it's not fair to say that we are all strawberry generation. As like you said, everybody has like a very personal upbringing and a very different upbringing, and everybody's threshold is very different as well. So what could be tiring and painful for me could not, could totally be in your element. So how do you say, oh, you guys are strawberry generation? Like, what is the definition of what is hard, what is tough? What are we complaining about? You know what I mean? That's what I say. But I, on the other hand, can understand that maybe as a society, as Singaporeans, we could, complain less.
Yeah,
that's all.
I think for me, we need to learn how to adapt to the new generation. Like, just learn to adapt new things. Like for the boomers, for example, I think they need to stop complaining and learn how to accept and appreciate us, because we are the ones who are going to, take care of them. You get what I mean? Yeah. So what?
Threatening words.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah. I think we all need to learn how to adapt to new generations. Like for us, maybe in the future also, we need to also learn to adapt to a new group of like generations. Yeah. So just learn how to adapt and change.
And I just want to say that although we do not experience the hardship that a lot of previous generation has faced, we also have our own set of struggles within this generation. For instance, this pandemic has robbed us of our youth. And like, even your parents would talk about back in the days when I was like clubbing, that's how I met your mom. Where to club right now, right? There are a lot of, like, we can't travel, so a lot of, even the kids that are born literally during pandemic, they don't have play dates. So it's a different set of struggles. Sure, like, let's not compare nuclear war and not being able to have play dates, but these are also struggles. And even employment, like, there's so much competition out there for the job. You constantly have to upgrade your skills in order to stay relevant. All of us has to know more than one skill. Like, we do a lot of things to survive.
Yeah.
So it's different. Like, we should meet people where we are at right now rather than back in the days in the 50s when I have no internet.
We need to be forward looking. Yeah.
No one struggle is the same. Just keep in touch. Just keep it in the back of your mind that your pain isn't the standard for every other else's pain. So just go forward with a very open mind, with an open heart. And somehow I still want to add on to say, if Singaporeans can learn to complain a little lesser, I'm pretty sure life could actually be much better for all of us also. So just remember, don't ever look down on other people's struggles, because you never know, you can never measure a person's struggle. Yeah, that's it. We hope you've enjoyed our conversation.
Let us know what you think. Comment down below.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.
New videos every Friday.